Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Wednesday, December the 11th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Want to give you guys a quick reminder, if you have not been to the website yet, of course, go check it out. There's a lot of free informative information on the site. At the same time, if you like the video analysis that we're bringing to you today, like the video, share the video. If you're interested in taking our education course or finding out how you could be a trader at our proprietary trading firm, contact me at ccooper@wallstreettrading.com or contact us via the button on the website. So now that that's out the way, let's go ahead and break down the analysis here. A pretty I would say pretty, even though the market wasn't down much, we did have some very negative breadth readings here. We had 5,164 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 1,176 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 120 issues make new highs, 106 issues make new lows on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. Therefore, from the breadth perspective, you can see we had about a 5-to-1 ratio in favor of the bears today. All right, so we definitely had some heavy selling, underlying selling in the equities. However, the markets, managed to hold up a little bit here, as the Dow wasn't down 200 points or anything like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the indices here. The Dow closed down 129 points. The Nasdaq closed down 56.5 points. The S&P 500 closed down 20.5 points. Again, looking at the breadth, we had negative breadth reading in favor of the bears, and it all started with the financials. Giving us some selling pressure this morning here. Bank of America down 2%, J.P. Morgan down over 1%, Citigroup down 2%, Goldman Sachs 1.25%, Morgan Stanley 2%. Heavy selling in the energy space. Some bullish action out of MasterCard and Visa. Of course, MasterCard is going to be doing that 10-to-1 split. That gave some bullish action to Visa and MasterCard. Heavy selling in the technology space and profit taking going on there. Some profit taking going on in the banks. Healthcare was weak. Consumer goods held up today. That's going to be the XLP ETF. So utilities sold off some more. Industrial goods. So let's go ahead and break down the charts here. Well, I want to start off with the indices. Looking at the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF closed down $2, 1%, a little over 1%. And we broke below that 20-day moving average. That moving average was holding throughout most of the session until we started selling off a little bit faster around, say, around 3 o'clock or so. And now you can see we're back down here at this little minor pivot support we have from last week Wednesday. We break below that minor pivot support. We have 178 from the pivot support right here, and then we have some decent support at 177.55. I will not be surprised if we maybe get some more fall through action tomorrow. We flash to that support level and then get a bounce off that rising 50-day moving average and possibly form like a little hammer and see if those dip bars are there. We'll see. One thing that I noticed today was that when you were looking at equities and you were looking to buy those strong names that usually bounce when they find some intraday support after they're oversold or extended from a breakdown level. You usually get a nice bounce. Well, guess what? Those bounces were not coming today. They were probably moving up a couple pennies and rolling right back down. The market stayed pretty clamped down to the low of the day most of the day here. So definitely bears were in control today. If you're bearish and you did pretty well today, that's good. You read the market pretty good here. Again, the breadth was showing us right out the gate. I would say like in the morning when the financials started selling off pretty hard and everything else started selling off, that there was something a little bit different, especially if you're looking to pick up some stocks off the lows, and these stocks were just bouncing up a couple pennies and rolling back over. If you take a look at the volume, we had a nice little high volume spike here. Again, remember one thing that I mentioned to you guys is if you can draw a little trend line on the volume, draw a little trend line in, it is very helpful, because the closer you get towards the apex, you will notice that the volume pattern starts to change, and you can get a good timing on when you expect the volume move to come in. And could that be happening right now? We still have some more space over here, but we'll see. It's something we'll keep you guys posted with. And then looking at the closing prices, you can see we did a little peekaboo high close over these prior resistances, but that did not get any confirmation, and that was followed by 2 confirmed lower closes, and we closed slightly below this low right here, which is the most recent pivot from the move up. So we could be starting a downtrend here as we have a high, a lower low from this low. We want to see this thing rise up and possibly put another lower high in, then we can say, okay, we're in a little short-term downtrend here, possibly for that correction that a lot of people are looking for. But again, decent support at 177.55. We break below that level. We have some support right here around 176 for this little pivot. and then we have down here 175. Be on the lookout for a rally, possibly back into these moving averages here intraday, and see if they short that, or or if they do not short that right there, then we could look for a move back up. Potentially these bulls have what it takes to bring this market back up tomorrow. We'll see. Taking a look at the triple Q, the Nasdaq 100 again held up pretty well today until the rest of the market started knocking it down. The Russell 2000 was really the index that has been showing relative weakness to the markets, and then it got knocked down today. And the Russell 2000 was down over 1.5%. Again, the fact that we had these crazy looking dojis here for the past 3 days, we highlighted in yesterday's video that you have to be a little bit cautious about that, as that means a lot of indecision up here, and we can see why that was today. I mean, looking at the triple Qs intraday, you can see they sold us right out the gate. We broke down out of this little 2-day range here on the 15-minute chart, and it was game on to the sell side. I didn't get a chance to go over the ES action with you, but let me just bring this chart down here real quick so I can show you guys how we were set up in the morning, because we were not able to get out a midday market update because the market was so busy. But taking a look at the action here, you can see we had a little bear flag that if you want to call it, or upward bearish channel, okay, that took place pre-market, and we got the breakdown right at the open. If you were in our live intraday chat room, we called the market. We said, hey guys, this could be a bear flag. Look for them to possibly short the market right on the open, and that's exactly what happened. Once we broke below the overnight low down here around 17.99, that's when the selling pressure came in. And you can see for the whole day, every rally that we got was just getting shorted. Little small bounce there, back down, little small bounce there. This one lasted a little bit longer than this one, but got smacked right back down. So again, bears were in control today. Let's go ahead and go back to the daily chart and the ES. Let's take a real quick look at the ES. You can see the ES here. This one's going to have some support back down to the 1770 level. Some little pivot supports right there in front of it. All right, so back to the Nasdaq here. Again, heavy selling on the open. I think this is a false tick right here. I'm not sure why that we have a tick right there at the high. And it says that we opened down here. Give me 1 second. Let me see something here. Yeah, so I don't know. This chart looks kind of funky here. QQQ shows that we gapped down to 85.16. 1 second. Let me see something here. Alright, I don't know. This chart's looking a little bit funky because we opened up close to yesterday's opening prices, so I'm not sure why this chart looks like this candlestick. In any case, let's go and just take a look. Let me take a look at the Nasdaq, the NQ. Yeah, that Thinkorswim chart's a little bit funky. If you take a look at FinViz, you should have a nice looking red bar like this, and that's not on the Thinkorswim chart. So let's go ahead and take a look at the triple Q. Sorry, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nasdaq futures, which you can see had a little big sell bar today here, and it's going to be sitting right on top of that 20-day moving average support around 34.69.75 on the Nasdaq futures. All right. IWM here, the Russell 2000. And the level you want to watch on the daily chart of the triple Q. Let me go back. Sorry about that. All over the place today. Since that candlestick kind of threw me off when I saw it. The level that you want to watch on the triple Qs will be down here, 84.75, the rising 20-day moving average. Then if we break below that, you want to watch this 84 level, which is going to be this little pivot high that we made right here that we pulled back, that rallied us up. So that level right there is going to be 84. You want to keep an eye on that whole number. All right, now back to the IWM, the Russell 2000 index, which again has been showing us relative weakness. All right, let's go ahead and see how this monster is setting up here. This thing's broke right back down below the 50% trend line of the big channel. All right, we discussed above the 50 bullish, below the 50 bearish. Well, guess what? It's time to get bearish again because we're below that 50. And we took out this little minor pivot low that we made last week, Wednesday. We're going to be coming into some support around 108.62. So that TZA may have some more upside the same way that would make the TNA have some more downside. Those are the two leveraged leveraged ETFs to trade the Russell. TNA for the bullishness, and TZA for the bearishness action, right? And we closed slightly below that 50-day exponential and simple moving average on the daily chart of IWM. You want to watch this 111.50 level, and then watch the 108.62 level, and then the 107 area looks like. Okay, around 107, you have the rising 100-day simple and exponential moving average. I'm not going to show the chart of the dollar. You guys can look at that. US, well, actually, let's go ahead and do it. Sorry about that. Just flash at them real quick here. Dollar futures, another low here. All right, we've been watching this, another 4-week low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, another 4-week low here. And again, we've been calling this out for a short. That's been taking place there and looks to go lower. Again, you want to watch the 79.80 level where they kind of bought it right in front of that level today. We break below 79.80. You want to start looking for the dollar futures to start making the way back down towards 79.20. Again, the main level that if the dollar breaks, we have to be worried about will be 79 on the dollar index. Again, and then real quick, the euro dollar new high again today. The euro dollar is now trading. Let's see here. The euro dollar is now trading 137.84. It hit a high today of 130. Hit a high today of 138.1. And you can see we're not too far off from our target that we told you that we can hit when we broke above this 136.25 area right here. So again, the euro very strong. A lot of people I know are fighting the tape, but why fight the tape? Just trade what it's showing you, and we have extra information showing that the dollar is getting weaker and it could go lower. So make sure you keep that in mind there. Real quick, I'm just going to look at gold because gold actually held up pretty well today, considering how it usually sells off when it gets a bounce. I would say gold held up well, and if the dollar continues to go down and we get that momentum move down in that U.S. dollar, I think that's going to be the catalyst for gold to get a nice little big oversold bounce, since it has come a long way from 1900, and we are potentially making a double bottom on the weekly chart right in front of 1200. We'll see if that happens. So gold, nice little pause day today, slight little pullback. If you can get a break above today's highs, that would be good, and we should be looking for 1280s or so. Let's see how that trades. GDX real quick here. I know I do most of this big overall analysis before I get into the individual equity names. So bear with me, as this is what you want to do every night, so you can be ahead of the game when it comes to looking at the markets tomorrow. You'll be able to be more proactive instead of reactive, like some people are out there that do not do any proper research. But that's another story. So GDX gave back its gains from yesterday. He filled the gap, so we want to see if it can hold, I would say, today's lows. If tomorrow it sells off and breaks below today's lows and then forms like a little intraday bottoming pattern underneath that low and looks like it's about to reverse back up above today's lows, then you want to be looking for that little shakeout trade possibly. We'll see how that plays out. Again, if you're in our chat room, you'll see how we analyze that intraday tomorrow. So let's go ahead and talk about some individual equity names. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the VIX. I wanted to talk about this before I look at the names here. The VIX was up close to 11% today. All right, again, it did hold above that 1350 range that we were watching out for here, or this little 1412 range. You can see we're back above that 14, back above 1350 held, and a big wide range bar that looks like it may have some follow through tomorrow, as that volatility index did have a nice little bit in the market today. And again, we'll see what happens here. I really can't get too worried about anything until we get above 20 and hold if you expect some real heavy correction to come in the markets, because every time the VIX pops up, right, they sell it back down, pops up, they sell it back down, pops up, they sell it back down. So let's see what happens here. Is this going to be a little ABC move that's going to play out here and give us that correction that a lot of people are looking for so they can buy some of these equity names on the cheap? We'll see. All right, again, we'll have to wait till the market tells us that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some individual names here. Apple. All right, Apple was down a little bit today here. Apple was down close to 1%. It's still holding on to the 8-day moving average there, consolidating sideways between 561 and this 572 area or so. Really don't see much going on right now. I would be careful if you're trying to get long up here. That's a range you want to work off of, and that's all I see right now in Apple. Not really too much to talk about there unless you're long and you just watch the profits kind of seep out of your account a little bit as it's been trading sideways to kind of lower. Amazon, nice powerful move up here. We see Amazon trading in a range between 390 and 380. All right, same thing. Not really much here. If you're looking to get long up here, I would watch out because most likely it's probably going to do a little shakeout back down to this 370 area that should act as support. So we'll see how that plays out in Amazon. Microsoft was down 1.25% today. All right, uh, this name's been getting some profit taking going on there, down 1.25% today. And if it breaks below today's lows, we can see it move possibly back down towards the 37 area. CRM, another technology stock that had some heavy selling pressure today. CRM. All right, this is another name that if it breaks below 51 tomorrow, you could most likely get a good short on it. You would have to watch out for the 100-day simple moving average right here around 50 half on the EMA and SMA. Again, let's go ahead and take a look at the financials overall. Broad market here via the XLF, which is the ETF for the financial sector. All right, and it's going to be coming back into this little support right here at 21. If the XLF starts to trade below 21, you can look for some of these banks to pull back a little bit. Again, many of these names are up a lot. We'll take a look at a couple of them here, but it's trading in a range. Support right now is at 21. Short-term support right now is at 21. Short-term resistance around 2160, and this uptrend trend line that we have right here was broken today. All right, really can't worry about that too much until we break below this little pivot low and we start closing below that little pivot low that we have right here, the most recent pivot low that we made before we try to push back up. One thing you will know is that, well, one thing that you can see here in the chart is that we do have a lower high put in, but we do not have a lower low, so we're not officially in a downtrend quite yet. If that is in fact going to be the case, which I think we do get a little pullback action. Goldman Sachs, all right, try to push up yesterday to the top of the channel. Got smacked down today, down $2.13, down 1.25%. All right, again, it's still above the 50, so we're not bearish on it. It just may chop around here a bit. It has been getting kind of sloppy in this little area. Bank of America, this one was down 2% today, down 31 cents. All right, down 31 cents, and it closed below the 2080 moving average. It's going to have some support down here around 15, or better yet, around the 1480 area, as that was prior resistance. So it should break, come back and retest and hold its support. There's buyers in that name. Again, Tesla, some other key names here. Again, I don't want to go through every individual stock. Just want to highlight some of the main ones here. Tesla, down $2.54 today. As long as it can hold above this 134 area, it's probably going to trade sideways to higher. Keep an eye on it though. We'll have to see if it can hold a bit in this area still. And if it does, we'll be looking for it to go back up. Again, Visa had some nice strength off the MasterCard. MasterCard was up 3.5% today. Visa, you can see nice little update there. Maybe this thing gets some fall through tomorrow. If it could hold above 206 tomorrow for the morning part of the session, it'll probably try to trend higher throughout the day. We'll see. Again, we'll have to wait until tomorrow to see if we can get that nice follow through. We'll see how the markets trade overnight, as that may affect how the stock opens up tomorrow. Citigroup was down 2%. You guys can take a look at that. Let's see here. Yeah, so MasterCard, big gap up there. There was some action in Groupon. Groupon came out with Groupon got upgraded by Wells Fargo. However, the stock was not able to hold those gains. Keep an eye on it though, as you do have a potential little nice little upward channel from the start, upward movement from the start of the year, uptrend, and a little pullback action right now. This could be a pullback for a move back up here towards the highs. So we're going to keep an eye on Groupon. Groupon was trying to show some relative strength early in the morning when the market was selling off. It was actually holding up, but then it just really couldn't muster its way through the 1050 level and wasn't able to hold above the 1050. Actually, did like a little fake intraday trap, which I can show you guys on the 1-minute chart. Here, I had this little fake breakout right here, and then it sucked in some longs and got marked down for the rest of the day. We were talking about that big seller that was showing size on EdgeX on the stock twits. Again, if you're not following us on stock twits or Twitter, it's Wall Street Trade, WALLST Trade. Accurate, decent analysis here from us. And of course, we try to make sure we follow the market and not our opinions or our bias. Trade what the market shows us. Let's see here. So again, all the Consumer good stocks were up. Procter & Gamble up 0.5%, Pepsi up 0.25%, KO up. Utilities had some more selling pressure, pullback action in healthcare stocks. One thing that I wanted to make sure I touch base on today. Oh, wait 1 second here. I wanted to take a look at the bonds. As one of my friends said, if I could look at the bonds, so I will do that. But OIH, we discussed the fact that OIH was sitting right on top of the 100-day simple moving average yesterday. We said that you may want to watch these names for some more selling pressure, and I also gave you a couple names to watch. So I want to go ahead and look back at those names so you guys can see what type of analysis we do here and how we time our trades. So OIH broke down. Again, this sector has been showing relative weakness to the market action. You can tell by looking at the chart, right? The market's been trading sideways to higher, and this thing's been trading sideways to lower. So you already see some relative weakness there. Let's go and take a look at the DO stock, which I said was a good candidate to short today. This stock was down 2.5% today. It broke below that 57. It broke below yesterday's low, right below 58, and sold off pretty nice today. We were also able to catch a little scalp going into the close in this one here. But DO, let's see, RIG was very weak today before it had this nice little intraday bounce, down 1.5% today. Keep an eye on this name for some fall through action. Potentially then after that, if it gets to 47, we'll be looking to buy it. Another oil drill you could take a look at that's pretty popular by traders, Halliburton, which I call Halliberry. And this one is going to be coming close to that level that we discussed right here at 48, where it should be able to find some decent short-term support, and then we'll play it by ear from there. Netflix was upgraded this morning, and the stock took off. It looks like it gave back most of its gains for the day, but it did give you a nice little cash flow trade intraday. If you take a look at the 5-minute chart here, all right, this thing strong out the gate. It tried to do like a little bull flag, ascending triangle, however you want to call it, a pent up move. So we did call it for a breakout in our chat room, and we were able to scalp $1 off of it right here. But then you can see it was a little fake breakout, sucked in some traders long up here, and then washed them right out and closed on its lows. Netflix, you have to be careful with that stock. Let's go ahead and see how much it retraced Fibonacci wise from this big sell bar I had right here. So let's take the high of this bar to the low of this little pivot that it made right there, and you can see it's above the 61.8% retracement, but it got rejected right at the 78.6% Fibonacci, which I really don't pay much attention to that Fibonacci level. I usually focus on the 61.8, the 50, the 38.2, but they sold it right in front of that Fibonacci level. What else? Anything else? Intel, some more technology names. I forgot. I haven't been talking about the Facebook and Twitter action because, to be honest with you guys, I haven't been focusing on those stocks like I should have. But some traders in the room, they've been trading that stuff left and right. But me personally, I've just been focusing on my commodity stocks that I'm pretty used to trading because I know how they trade and how volatile they are. But Intel, gap fill, keep an eye on the semiconductor name. I want to take a look at the bonds real quick here. All right, TLT. If TLT breaks below the 102 level, we could see some heavy selling pressure in the bonds. I think if you guys recall, back the videos I was making back in July, I mentioned the head and shoulders pattern that I saw on the weekly chart. Now, after the fact, you can see how that played out to the T. All right, we talked about that back here. What month is that? We talked about that back here in June, July, and we were mentioning it right here, and you can see what happened. And I told you all the best way to take that trade and to play it, especially if you're a fund manager and you watch my videos, or if you're a portfolio manager at a little small firm or something, the best way to trade that stock or that rotation out of bonds into cash, or whether it went into equities, it was via the TMV. And look what the TMV did. I remember calling this out. The TMV back at 60, it rallied to a high of 78, and now it's pulling back. The big pattern that I see on the bonds here, okay, is this move right here. You have a nice little up move, accelerated uptrend right here, and then you have a nice little downward channel that broke out. Let me draw this a little bit better here. Sorry about that, guys. So a nice little up move here. All right, the nice little downward channel that broke out, pulled back, held, retest, bounced back up, pulled back, higher pivot low, higher pivot low. Keep an eye on the bonds. Once this thing breaks over 74, this thing can get rocking and rolling. TMB, they do have options here. And I'm going to start watching this option line to see if I see any suspicious buying of calls on any of these strike prices that are out of the money here, like 78 or so. So we'll see. But other than that, the bonds look like they want to move lower. What's going to be the best way to play that? That would be via TNB, which is a leveraged instrument that's short the 20 plus year Treasury bond 3 times. Let's see. That's about it, folks. Hope you guys liked the video. Again, if you like the video, share it. Sorry, I know I did jump around in the video a lot today, but again, we had some decent action today in the markets. Let's see if we get some follow through action tomorrow. A couple more names you could take a look at. Triple D, which sold off today. GMCR, um, Twitter, of course. Well, those are the stocks I want to talk about right there. Twitter and Facebook. Real quick, then I'll end the video here. Let's see, Twitter. Of course, this stock has been on a tear all the way from 41 to 52, or better yet, a high of 53.82. I would not buy it up here. Wait for a pullback. Definitely a stock that's trading pretty well intraday. You just take a look at the intraday action on it. It's giving you some decent action here, some decent readable action. Buying the pullback, buying the pullback, buying the pullback, sell off, shorten the rally. So it's very readable. So a lot of traders are trading that intraday. Facebook, I didn't even get a chance to look at this name. A couple of traders were trading this on the desk here in our Miami office. This was down close to 2% today, 1.75%, and even this one's giving you some decent action. The social media stocks are in play, so keep them on your radar. Facebook, LinkedIn, all the internet stocks, stuff like that. Have a great night, folks. Cheers.